Now, other interesting cultural news, you have a woman fired for not working because of keystroke technology. Oh, how times have changed. Now, rudimentary speaking, keystroking technology is basically a software where it monitors your laptop to see when you're, depending on how detailed they want, they can even know exactly what you're typing in terms of words. But in terms of work monitoring software, a lot of companies, again, if it's a company's entity or the company owns the laptop, this is their property to do whatever they want, legally speaking. So they'll install some tracking software. I remember it was a pain when I worked at some tech companies where they actually had that to micromanage you, not to make you a better employee. Now in this case, because everyone is making people work from home, companies are starting to deploy this tech because they're wondering, are people really working 8 hours a day? Now, the pessimist to me would say, no, absolutely not. At the end of the day, personally, what I think is if they hit their metrics that are defined to make them an exceptional employee, as long as they're hitting or better exceeding those metrics, it really shouldn't matter how many hours are being put in. You're paying for that performance. Now, hourly workers, of course, that's a much more different situation. Now, it looks like this is for this specific instance, this is a major insurance company, and it looks like it was over in Australia. And according to this article, it actually says they're responsible for creating insurance documents, meeting regular timelines, monitoring work from home compliance. And she had this role. And it looks like in terms of their actual findings around her, they were wondering, how many times is she actually turning on the computer and, logging in to work? And they found that she didn't work her rostered hours for 44 days. She started late 47 days. And she finished early 29 days and performed 0 hours of work 4 days. Now, granted, if you request a day off, those don't count. But there's 4 days where she got paid and she didn't do any work, which is ridiculous. And in terms of being late, if she's an hourly employee, that's like a pet peeve. I always tell people if you're 10 minutes early, you're late. If you're 15 minutes early, you're on time. Because guess what? Stuff happens. Car traffic, accidents. There's always variables that you need to account for especially when you have physical meetings. And they go on to say, in this case, she averaged 54 strokes per hour over the duration of her surveillance, which showed she was, quote, she was not presenting for work and performing the work as required. And it looks like she was there for years upon years. And funny enough, she goes, oh yeah, I have evidence that I was actually working, but then she never actually produced anything. I mean, I can't fathom what evidence she might have unless she was working in a spiral notebook. But again, when it comes to her role, it was all about inputs into the computer, because many jobs these days, a lot of tasks that are measured are all electronic. And it's fascinating to see from a cultural perspective. Will you see more and more American, in terms of American adoption, will Americans revolt against this? Will they say, I will not work at your company if you micromanage me or if you monitor me in that regard? Or will people kind of accept, as a trade-off, yes, they can work at home as long as they hit the metrics that that can be monitored? Let me know in the comment section, which one would you prefer? Because if you're hitting the metrics, but you have that software in place, maybe it's not too bad. A lot of people would say it'd be a better alternative than spending 2 hours a day plus in traffic, paying for gasoline. We shall see from culturally speaking, it'll be interesting to see how it pivots around. Thank you again for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so you can click that button. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback greatly appreciated and helps grow the channel. Also, and lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.